All right, our next idea here is just what we call the zero product property. This is actually a quick idea and pretty intuitive one. Um, so the zero product property is just this. If I have like A times B, if I have two things that are timesing to each other and they equal zero, then either A has to equal zero or B has to equal zero, or they both could be equal to zero. Because again, if I have two items or two different things that are multiplying to each other and they equal zero, that means one or the other or both have to be equal to zero at that point in time. So that's the zero product property. It's just saying, again, when two things are, or more than one, when multiple things are multiplying to each other and they equal zero, then we could just set the separate things together. How this is useful is we're going to get to a point where we have equations that look like these two right here, where I've got this x minus 2 in parentheses and then x minus 1 in parentheses, and they're all equal to 0. So this is like A, and this is like B here, and they equal to 0. So what that means is either x minus 2 has to be equal to 0, or I have to have x minus 1 equal to 0, or they both could. And when I do this, again, when I set up these equations like this, then guys, these are pretty simple to solve. You guys have done this a ton of times. Like this is going to be plus 2 here. This is going to be plus 1 here. And so I'll have x is equal to 2 here. And x is equal to 1 here. So my solutions would be x is equal to 2 and to 1 in both of those. And again, if you want to plug those in and try them, you'll see that it will give you, if I plug 2 into both these, it's going to give me 0 times 1, which is a 0. And so it works out every time, okay? This is the thought process behind it. Honestly, you guys can probably do some of this stuff in your head, but just for sake, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing here. So for this one right over here, I've got, this is A and this is B here. And so I know that x plus 5 has to equal 0, or I know that x minus 2 has to equal 0. And so when I go to solve this, I'm going to minus 5 here, which means x will equal negative 5, sorry, not positive 5. And then I have to add the 2 here, which means x is also going to be equal to 2. So a lot of students like, well, is it just the opposite of that? Yeah, most of the time. Sometimes you'll get a value in front of the x here, which changes that, and so it's not actually just the opposite. So it's better to know the idea that you've got to set both of them equal to 0, okay? This works even if you have more than one or more than two things. So this one I've got x, I've got 2x minus 1, and then I've got x plus 3, and they're all equal to 0. So if that's the case, I'm going to set x equals 0. I'm going to set 2x minus 1 equal to 0. And I'm going to set x plus 3 equal to 0. So however many things I have, and then I just solve from there. So this is already solved. That's nice. This one I'm going to have to add the 1. And then I'm going to have to divide by 2. So I'll have x is equal to 1/2 on this one. And then this one I'm going to have to minus the 3, which I'll have x equals negative 3 there. So all my solutions, I have x equals to 0, 1/2, and then negative 3 are the 3 solutions. So however many x's I have, that's how many solutions I'm going to have. Okay. This last example here, I put this one because it's got this 4. Well, guys, when I go to start doing this and I put 4 equals 0, and then I go x plus 13 equals 0, and then x minus 1 equals 0, and x plus 1 equals 0, this can never happen. So that doesn't actually factor into a solution because it doesn't have an x there. Okay, if it was 4x, then I'd go about solving that. This one's going to give me x equals to negative 13. This one's going to give me 1. Sorry, it does not want to move over there, so we'll just go. There we go, maybe. All right, so I'm going to have to move this down. Sorry, x equals negative 13, x equals 1, and x equals negative 1. So 4. This one would be negative 13. This one would be positive 1. And this would be negative 1. So, and that's what we're looking at with that zero product property. It should be a pretty quick and easy step. Just don't forget, like on this one, we had to divide by 2, so I get 1/2. That kind of stuff. Okay, math moment with Mummy over, out.